Southwell was in court.
It was supposed to be a day of celebration. Instead, these were the ugly scenes that erupted in Luton. Families and friends of soldiers marching through the town reacted in anger to a Muslim protest against the Iraq War. 5 Muslim men were later convicted for using threatening behaviour. Today, Brian Kelso and Kevin Carroll were in court accused of causing harassment, alarm and distress. They denied the charges but were found guilty. In court, Judge Nicholas Lee Smith said the pair had been provoked and there was nothing to suggest their actions were premeditated. However, those actions, he said, were likely to exacerbate an already overheated situation. And instead of shouting abuse at the protesters, they could have complained to the police. The court heard the police had decided on that day not to make any arrests unless violence broke out. In their defence, Brian Kelso and Kevin Carroll said they were unaware of that policy and they felt the Muslim protesters were being shielded by police. Outside court, the pair remained defiant.
Do it again tomorrow.
Straight away.
Instantly. To protect our troops' families, to stand up for what's right.
Yep.
We're a little bit disappointed, aren't we, Brian?
Definitely disappointed, yeah. I think it's an injustice,
But we've been found guilty, but it's British rule of law, and it's the only rule of law that we'll accept.
Exactly.
And it's the only rule of law in this land that we want or need. So we may appeal.
We may appeal. Consider our right. We've got the right, so we'll consider it.
Both men have been given a conditional discharge. Each was ordered to pay £175 costs. Faye Southwell, BBC Look East, Luton.
Over the last 5 years, more migrants have come here to work than almost anywhere else in Britain. It's put pressure on the jobs market and services. The government has identified areas in these 8 towns where the strain is already beginning to show and has given extra money to the local councils to encourage social integration. One of those is King's Lynn, where there would appear to be a lot to do.
Do you feel that students within the college don't have enough opportunities to talk about issues like immigration?
This is Daisy Line. It's her job to find out how the residents of King's Lynn feel about the large number of migrant workers in the area. Today she's talking to students at the local college.
Because people are getting scared due to things like the recession and the amount of immigration.
They have to turn to an alternate option, and I'm afraid the BNP is one of the only options.
In fact, 2/3 of the students in this room said they'd consider voting for the BNP.
I won't say there's no tension, but I think that tension is caused by myth and people not having an opportunity to truly talk about immigration and the good stuff that comes from it.
The government has given money to 8 councils in the region to promote racial harmony and social cohesion. King's Lynn's used the money to build a garden, and later on there'll be an arts festival and rock concert. Some may question if that's really enough. Many politicians are telling me that immigration is becoming a big election issue.
And people are feeling very worked up about this. It's about jobs as well, pressure on jobs, pressure on homes.
It has put pressure on services, it's put pressure on communities, and it's led to resentment, and it's led to problems.
The town of Wisbech, deep in the Fens, is another place receiving special cohesion money from the government. Here, migrants are already well integrated in local life.
Well, I've been surrounded by very good friends, English friends, and lots of them were very friendly and helpful for me from the very beginnings of my existence here.
Basic thing is, if you know the language and you talk with people, you're being treated right. So I never found it really, difficult.
It proves that in this region there is already a lot of harmony and cohesion, but beneath the surface there remains among some suspicion and doubt. That's what the government is trying to tackle with this new money. Andrew Sinclair, BBC Look East.
Well, the effects of migrant workers on one local community were examined in a BBC documentary last week. It was filmed in Wisbech and was called The Day the Immigrants Left. In it, local unemployed workers were asked to take on jobs usually done by migrant workers.
The field supervisors running out of patience.
I don't know how to explain to you, but please really cut everything what is good this side. Can't be angry.
No, I'm trying my best, but it's not over good enough for nobody, so...
If we're working, we must cutting everything. What is good, what is this size minimum, must be cutting. If you don't make money, I don't need something people like you.
I'm going for a break. You need to calm down.
Him don't make good job. I showed to him what he's doing bad, but no, him now is angry to me.
He says speed up, then he says slow down. Then he says speed up, then he says slow down. So we're going to laugh and then say, make your mind up.
Well, here's what people said about that programme on the BBC Cambridgeshire website. I'm sick of hearing locals moaning about foreigners, said Steve from Wisbech. They pay taxes which keep a lot of lazy Brits on the dole. Alex from Downham Market thinks the benefit system has encouraged people not to work. John from Colchester says that, unlike migrant workers, the unemployed British really need secure, regular employment. Richard from Norfolk says migrant workers have a lower cost of living back home and so can work for less money than British Labour. Well, Dee Humwicks is an actress and a journalist who lives in Wisbech and believes that local people have been misrepresented by the programme. So let's talk to her. How have they been misrepresented then?
Hello, Stuart. Welcome to my home.
How have they been misrepresented then?
Right, Stuart. They have been misrepresented. At the end of the day, I normally pop into town and I love it. I love the community. They're always interested in what I'm up to. When I popped into town after filming in London a couple of days ago, I was bombarded by the community that were in town, and they were absolutely distraught at what the documentary had made them look like.
Yeah, but we saw in that excerpt there that people that were chosen to take part in the programme actually didn't do it very well.
Well, no, but at the end of the day, we both know, we're in the industry, that you are cherry-picked. Producers do cherry-pick people to make good television. And to be fair, they succeeded, because everyone watched it and everyone's talking about it. And I don't just mean in this area, all over the country.
But we did hear from people, not the people who were given the chance to go and work in the field, but the people who said that actually there are people coming in from European countries doing jobs that British people could do. Do you not think that that's a
Yes.
feeling that people have in Wisbech?
Yes, there is a feeling that some people have in Wisbech, but I'm here to talk about Wisbech people and how they feel, the really hard-working people who actually cut their teeth on the land. We live in a rural community, and I've been here 29 years, and I know how hard they work and the sort of people that they are. And all I know is I'm grateful to come home after I've been doing my work.
But there will be those people who... I'm sorry to interrupt you. There will be those people who are just like the people in the documentary who don't want to do the jobs that the migrant workers do. And if the migrant workers don't come and do it, then we don't have an industry in those areas.
Yes, but the migrant workers have been doing the job for years anyway. This isn't new. It was made out to be that it's new, and it's not new. Migrant workers have actually been working in this area for absolutely years, and there's proof of that. I can't give you figures or numbers, but I know it's a fact, Stuart.
Dee Humwicks, thank you very much. And there's more on that in the Politics Show, Sunday at midday